Hi, my name is Ivas John. Watch me on the Spiel.
I'm here today and all I hear is how I'm chasing crazy dreams. They'll sing, 'cause I've got perfect songs and melodies just waiting to come out of me, and you'll sing along like, oh, whoa. Fancy words, clever lines and tales that take you back in time, and you'll sing along like, oh, whoa, and they'll know. Everyone will know. They should have believed in me.
Should have believed, baby.
You're watching The Spiel.
Thank you so much for watching The Spiel. You just never know who's going to call in sick. And if you had one guess, who do you think it was again today? Take some time. That's right. What? See, and I've got a host of people in the studio who could do it with me, and nobody's sitting up here with me. But you know, that's okay because we've got a ton of stuff in the show today. Some really cool stuff. I mean, we're going to try something a little bit different. History, mystery, and hauntings of Southern Illinois. Jason, have you heard of that?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Yes. Matt?
Yes.
Yes. See? Ashley? Yes. Mom, Layla. Yes, Mom's back in. Leilani. See, we have a Layla and a Leilani. Look at her laughing. She's just glad she had her name mentioned, right? And someone's sending me a text. Hang on just a second. Okay, history, mystery, and hauntings of Southern Illinois. The gentleman and the lady responsible, actually a couple of ladies, it could be, Bruce Cline, along with Lisa Cline, Kale, Meggs, and Tracy Todd Bragg. History, mystery, and hauntings of Southern Illinois. I explained to the gentleman when we booked him to come on the show that while working in Boston, I covered the New England hauntings or tales of, you know, New England darkness. Do you believe in all this stuff, Matt?
Yes.
You do? Really? Do you think someone's here now?
No, I don't.
Like Julie? Do you think Julie is here?
Definitely not.
Julie is definitely not here. You're right. What were you going to say?
Not even spiritually.
Not even spiritually. Julie, not even spiritually. Okay. Spooky. You know what? And then the other thing is, look, we're having some fun here. These guys and lady involved in this project, they love what they do. So you know what? We're going to give them a platform to be able to promote that. The works of the Little Egypt Ghost Society. That's why we're here on the Spiel. And then the other thing, you know, we have a guest. Somebody took my phone. I had a list of all the guests.
Who in the world would have done
Could I have that back? Thank you. All right. Well, anyway, you know, there's a reason. There's a method to the madness. I silenced it. All right. You have to understand, here at the Spiel, we have a large group of people responsible for putting on this show. We have an enormous staff, or we like to call them interns because we don't pay them. So that's the kind of staff you want, right? But we have people who will book shows, and it's a joy to actually go into the calendar and find out who will be here with us on any given day. And this one particular lady, she's one that we're looking forward to meeting because, you know, we film right here in Southern Illinois, but you know we're syndicating, so if you're a syndicator and you're interested, give us a call. But this is an effort that has the ability to go not only nationwide, but internationally. And if we can be a small part of that, we want to do it. It's a lady who is training dogs to somehow fill a void or to help traumatic, a traumatic injury patient person. It could be a service person. The program is called This Able Veteran. That's a play on words, not disabled veteran. We're talking This Able Veteran. And it is a remarkable program, and you're going to see the work of this lady today, and I think you're going to be impressed, so much so that you'll want to know how you can pitch in, you'll want to know how you can connect the dots and make things happen for this lady, because that's what we're going to do here on the Spiel. That's what we're all about, is connecting dots, making a difference, and getting things done. So stay right there. We'll be right back.
Well, all I do is sit and cry since the day she said goodbye. I think of all the little things she did.
Hey, guess what? Southside Lumber's been in business for 70 years now.
I know.
We got paint! I
I know.
Man, do we have hardware?
I know.
Whoa, we got tools.
I know.
Family owned and operated for nearly 70 years, Southside Lumber is the place to go to be in the know.
Find us on social media and check us out for the next 70 years.
We pride ourselves on taking care of our customers. We'll put every effort into satisfying the customer.
Our crew here takes wonderful care of the people.
You can still operate here on a handshake.
We have 8 out of the 10 #1 sellers on this lot.
24/7 tech service.
We have very competitive financing.
We have one of the largest body shops in the Midwest.
We take care of all of it right here at Larry's.
All in an effort to try to keep our customers happy. We're on 148, just north of Ziegler, Illinois. We'll go further than that extra mile.
We love making new friends. Visit us online at facebook.com/SpielOn.
And you're watching the Spiel. We always like to change it up. You never know what's coming your way. And today we have 2 gentlemen joining us. Listen, co-authors of, get this, History, Mystery, and the Hauntings of Southern Illinois. And they just stare at me. They're like, yeah, so? I mean, what are you saying? Oh, yeah, music would be good. The music. You know, it's from the case files of the Little Egypt Ghost Society. Bruce Cline is joining us along with, well, Lisa says no. She's one of the ones that said no. Okay, Kale Meggs?
Kale Meggs, yeah.
Kale Meggs and Tracy Todd Bragg. It took a lot of people to put this together, huh?
Sure did.
Okay, tell me a little bit about the effort and what you would find in the pages of this History, Mystery, and Hauntings of Southern Illinois.
Well, our group is the Little Egypt Ghost Society, and we like to do a lot of road trips.
Okay.
We're very interested in local history, so we travel throughout the 618 area code region, looking up local history, and sometimes with the history, if you're lucky, you find a mystery associated with it, and with a mystery, sometimes there's a haunting.
Oh boy. What was the first tale, if you would, that sort of, you know what, you were hooked after that and you had to know more, stories?
Well, one of the more interesting ones was the Rose Hotel in Elizabethtown, Illinois.
Yeah.
It was built in 1812. It's run by the state of Illinois as a bed and breakfast. It's been in continuous operation for over 200 years.
Okay.
And they have a resident ghost.
Really?
Actually 3 of them.
Kale, have you met this resident?
The friendly ghost, Tote. He's a very friendly ghost. I recommend going there and saying hello to him sometime. No, I've never met him.
Okay, good. Because then, I mean, we just have to talk, you know, once the camera stops rolling. But what is one of your favorites in here? And tell me a little bit about a finding of yours.
Well, we spotted a big bright light above some railroad tracks once, and that's got me kind of studying railroad hauntings. Big white glowing light about the size of a volleyball just hovering there. So that scared the heck out of us. Neither of us ever actually seen an apparition. We've seen some weird things, but we've never seen the holy grail of hauntings, the full-fledged apparition of a human being.
Okay. Do you find that some of these stories just take on, if you will, a shape of its own? I mean, a person can depict a story and a happening maybe different than somebody else. Is that part of the fascination?
It sure is. In fact, one of our stories in there we revealed for the first time at risk of upsetting certain locals. It's about the big muddy monster, Murfreesboro mud monster.
Yes.
Turns out was a total hoax, and we reveal it for the first time in the book.
My husband has a field day with that one, with my 10-year-old. You can imagine, you know, every time we drive near, by, around, he has to remind him of it, so.
The big muddy monster.
Yeah. Now, I do see that you guys, people are fascinated by this type of material. It's a top seller on Amazon, correct? Talk about that.
Our first edition was on the top 100 list Amazon for over 3 years solid.
Okay.
We get a lot of calls for people wanting us to do presentations and tours and whatnot, pretty much because of the book, so it's really taken off for us.
How many of these little stories have been made into a movie or a tale or a story? Has anybody tried to bring it to life, depict it somehow other than in a book?
The Hundley House in Carbondale, Ghost Lab, a pretty big group came down and went there. Other than that, I'm not really sure. The Cave in Rock, that's pretty, there's been a lot of things done at Cave in Rock.
Mm-hmm. Now that ghost show you're talking about, these are the folks that come in with all the equipment and they can measure things. Is that what happens?
Yeah, they do some scientific investigating. We do a lot of investigating, a lot of paranormal investigating ourselves. We've been on hundreds hundreds of investigations, but these guys, they have a little bit more money and a lot more equipment. They did a pretty good job at the Hundley House. So.
Okay. What's that story for those folks who don't know that?
The Hundley House is a place in Carbondale, Illinois, where there was an unsolved murder of the mayor of Carbondale in 1928, and it's had a lot of paranormal activity since that time.
If you look at this book, I mean, this is thick. I mean, there are a lot of stories associated with this. Are we suggesting that perhaps Southern Illinois is just so good that people don't want to pass, they don't want to leave, they just stay in these places?
A lot of times, yes. People, when they pass on, have unfinished business that they don't want to go to the next level. They need to stay on earth, take care of it. Others feel they were so evil in life, they're afraid of the final judgment, so they stay earthly bound.
Talk to me about the slave house. That seems to be a place that a lot of people will mention in conversation.
Yeah, that one was run, it was where slavery was actually legal in Illinois at the time, to run the salt mines through there. And to get more slaves in there, the John Cairnshaw actually ran what was like a reverse Underground Railroad. He would capture freed blacks and put them back into slavery. And even that wasn't enough. So he had this one slave called Uncle Bob. He would have breeding the females to make more baby slaves. And he actually lived to be 112 years old. But what was interesting, even though he was a slave, he did serve in the Confederate Army during the Civil War.
You know, when you start to investigate these things, or you walk into some of these places and experience some of these things, have you ever had a situation where the hairs on your arms?
The energy.
Yeah.
The energy. That's the thing that we talk about the most, is the energy. The energy. After you've done so many investigations, you actually can feel the energy when you enter a location, to where you can almost know whether or not you're going to come out with some kind of evidence. The Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville, Kentucky, for example, you can feel the energy in the parking lot before you even go in. Another place, the library in Evansville, the Willard Library, I believe it's called. I felt the same exact energy when I walked in there. That's when I kind of recognized the energy. And now, since those two locations, I can kind of feel that when I go in another place. So the energy is huge.
And Bruce, I mean, you're the namesake on the front of this book, but you obviously have the other folks along with you, including Kale here. Is that because you found that there's just too much to do alone? There's too much to document?
There is a lot to do alone, and we kind of play off each other's talents. Like, some are more into history, some are more into the equipment we use, and just it's a blend of personalities that go into this.
Is this something you'll continue to do? Are there more hauntings or mysteries that need to be solved?
Oh, there's plenty more. I mean, we could fill volumes and volumes of books.
Really? So will people call you, or are you digging for these stories?
We have people approach us a lot of times, and other times we do the local research and come up with stuff for our own.
Okay. So primarily right now you're looking at, these are maybe public places, not necessarily, are you going into private homes or investigating inside families?
Yeah, we try to stay away from the private homes unless we really know the people, because there's certain liability associated with it. And
sure.
We don't want to get into that.
Residentials, but no, we've backed away from it. We'd rather go to historical sites. That's what we get called for more than.
What was the oddest thing that you've written about, or you need to know more about, that you've investigated?
Boy, that's out of left field. The oddest thing that I need to know more about.
Yeah.
Wow. I would like to know more about railroad tracks. I'd like to know where those lights come from that are seen above railroad tracks across the United States. Bruce?
How about you?
I'm with you on the railroad tracks, because they tend to store up a lot of energy in them, and when conditions are right, this energy is released. And there's all kinds of strange happenings. Like when we were out there investigating, we heard sounds like footprints, someone walking around us. We looked around, there was no one in the area. We're just standing still. Then they had this light that just appeared over our heads, lit up the whole area, and blink, went out in an instant. It's like something was kind of stalking us out there.
Yeah. You talk about feeling these energies and obviously being present, and there could perhaps be something else there. Have you ever been in a situation that you knew you were not wanted or welcome there, and you respected that, or would you stay to investigate further?
I don't know if I would respect it. I've never really had anything evil, really, that I knew was evil at the time. Okay. I think Bruce had in one of it, because we haven't done all our investigations together. I think he's come across a couple of evil things, but not me.
What did you walk away from, or did you stay?
We stayed. It was a private residence in El Dorado. They thought it was some kind of demonic activity. Turns out it was centered around a baby crib that they got in a secondhand store. And we were using some of our equipment. One piece is a EMF, it's an electromagnetic field detector. And we were getting readings inside the crib, but there was no power source or any toys with batteries or anything. So we moved the crib to an area of the room where we were getting no readings before. It followed the crib wherever we moved it.
What was the story of the crib? Did you find out what happened?
Don't know, it just came from a secondhand store, and something was creepy. It was, family said something was actually attacking the baby in the crib. They couldn't see it, but the baby boy kept screaming and crying, and things would be displaced in the crib. And
the crib would be right back at the secondhand shop if it was.
Exactly, exactly.
I mean, you know what? That's the thing about these type stories is you're just kind of left to sit there and go, I mean, what do you say, really? You know, I think it's admirable of you guys to step out and do this, because I'm afraid some people wouldn't, for fear that, oh my gosh, they've lost their mind, they're crazy. You know, do you worry about that? Obviously not.
We get funny looks occasionally, but it's okay.
Well, thank you so much. And you know what? They need to check you out. And you guys are on hand on occasion to do book signings and things like that at various places. So your Facebook is obviously a good place to go. And what's the name of that Facebook page one more time?
Little Egypt Ghost Society.
Okay. Thank you so much, gentlemen. And hey, next time, okay? Because she's the kindred spirit. She's the kind one, the nice one, all right? Do you see anything in here, by the way? No. Okay, good. All right. We'll be right back.
Watch the Healthy Hippie Chef on The Spiel.
My dad came here in the early 50s and started. My name's John Smith. My brother Terry and I have Smith Dairy Farm. We're producers of milk for Prairie Farms Dairy. We're outside at 4:30 in the morning. Cows need fed 365 days a year, and you learn the mannerisms of each animal. You learn who they are. Prairie Farms, they depend on us to be finished milking at a time when the truck's going to come to get the milk. We're all one big team.
Proudly farmer-owned.
It's part of what we've been raised to do.
Prairie Farms.
Fitness is a way of life for me. It is my passion. At the Den Fitness Center, we offer a lot of different programs. We have a 15-week program when it comes to personal training. Build their muscle, build their strength, we chart your progress, and we get results. We guarantee anybody that trains with us 30 pounds in 15 weeks if they listen to us. You can go to any gym, but a gym's just a gym. We're not your average gym, we're a family. I teach people to live again.
And we're spieling it in our Southside Lumber Kitchen, brought to you by Prairie Farms. My favorite chef joining us today, the Healthy Hippie Chef. Where's Julie? Where's Julie?
I know, we missed Julie.
We really miss her. And on the day that you have, look, I look down and I'm like, hey, this is a dessert. Is this really healthy?
This is a treat. Okay. You know, I always say no to diets and deprivation. And
Trust, that's not an issue with me. Yeah, no to diets.
Say yes to food and celebration. You know why? Because diets and deprivation, that's negative.
Yeah.
No negative, okay?
I don't like it.
So here, get this. This is a treat. This is not a cheat. I hate it when people come up to me, I cheated on my diet today. Never again say cheat. No, we always say we treated ourselves. Life's too short.
Have multiple treats every day.
Treat. No more cheats, right?
Treats.
It's all about. So
How many
today's a treat.
treats per week? Can we talk about treats per week?
We can. We can talk about.
Buy the cookbook. She'll tell you how many treats you can have per week.
But these are also somewhat healthy treats.
Yes.
Okay.
The
and they're
apple
not
pie
high
sugar
calorie.
cone.
Yes.
Wow.
And I've got a new product I was going to introduce to you. I've been researching a little bit. You know, blood sugar. Some of us have had some problems with blood sugar. Okay, highs, lows. We love the high. We hate the low, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get that figured out, by the way?
Yes.
Good.
This coconut.
Palm
sugar. Okay.
Okay.
Now, just bear with me for a minute.
Can you get that at Casey's?
They
like give you a running leg.
Not yet. Hopefully soon. This is a little bit of an alternative. I like to give the chef a choice.
Yes.
I always say chef's choice. You can use sugar. I try to stay away from a lot of the sweeteners, artificial, stevia, some.
Agave nectar?
Agave nectar.
You're proud of me?
Agave nectar.
Knew that? That's great.
I love that.
Okay.
I think I taught you that.
You did.
But it has the same amount of calories as sugar, but the good thing about it, it's very low in the glycemic index, which When you have sugar, you know, I said you get your highs and your lows.
Sure.
This keeps your sugar stable.
Nice.
Okay, natural. It's got a really rich caramely flavor. It reminds me a lot of brown sugar.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, Julie would have already done this and stuck it in. Okay, but I'm not going to do that. So let's see how we're going to make it.
It's good for baking, brownies, cookies, things like this. So I thought I'd try it in my apple recipe today.
Okay.
These are my apple pie sugar cones. I have a problem with portion control. I can sit down, and if it's a good apple pie, I could probably eat half the apple pie.
Unlike mine,
okay.
that I make this week.
So
good.
Now, you get these little sugar cones.
Yes.
You know,
love them.
About 50 calories. Takes the place of your crust.
3 dips, please.
Yes.
3 dips.
Now,
ice cream.
You know the little wedges, little triangle Laughing Cow cheese wedges?
Yes.
About 35 calories.
Oh my goodness. They're a little expensive, but I do love them.
They are, but they have a cinnamon one, delicious. So if you can find those, the problem was when I went to the supermarket lately, I haven't been able to find those.
Okay.
Don't know. But they fit right down in here in your sugar cone.
The Laughing Cow.
The Laughing
cheese.
Cow.
Wow.
Stick it down in there. But if you can't find them, this is a brown sugar cinnamon smell.
Stop it.
Cream cheese. Delicious.
Okay.
Take about a tablespoon.
Okay.
All you're going to do is fill it down in here for your filling in your sugar cone.
Good, good.
And if you're feeling
Can you see this?
really
Can
hungry,
you see?
you can do a couple tablespoons.
Can you see that?
So after you get all your sugar cones filled,
Okay.
you're going to take your apples. Now I used about a half a cup of this sugar, which you could, if you wanted a little sweeter, a little more, but I just put about a half a cup of sugar.
Okay.
If you just got regular sugar, that's fine. If you want to go with the stevia, of course, that's no
How come
calories.
you took that away? I was looking forward to
Oh,
filling
I'm
it.
sorry.
Yeah, okay, that's
I'm
okay.
sorry. So then, all you do, after you've got your apples all cooked up, you're just going to fill it up.
Okay.
And I like to place mine around in a little cup and then put a dollop of ice cream over it.
Yeah.
But it's
Prairie
totally
Farms,
up to you.
preferably.
Prairie Farms,
Very
definitely.
good. Very good choice.
So you've got your fresh apples with cinnamon and sugar.
My goodness, look at that. And it drips,
you
but it's
go.
perfect. Just
It's
stay right over the
delicious.
bowl. It is
Yep.
delicious. Okay.
So it's just a little bit of a healthy alternative.
This
to
could be a
apple
summertime
pie.
treat. This could be a,
Could
a
be.
fall
It's a great
favorite.
fall treat.
It's a
I
fall
love it
favorite.
for fall. It's really good when they're warm. But it's just a little bit of a healthy alternative to the apple pie,
Well, let's
traditional
toast
apple
them
pie.
and try it.
There you go. Cheers.
Oh my.
Isn't that good?
You've outdone yourself.
You need to get the cream in there too and everything. Oh, it's
The
so
Healthy
good.
Hippie Chef. If you haven't checked her out, please do. HealthyHippieChef.com. You can even pick up one of these handy dandy little cookbooks at her website. Groovy Grub. Give me the rest of your taglines. You got some good ones.
Healthy ways equal happy days.
All right. Good deal.
Yum.
We'll see you back here later.
I think here the focus is more the patient and the fact that you have the time to really sit down with your patient and to discuss with them their needs.
Are able to spend more time with people and have a more personal touch.
We get to know the patients. They're not just a number here. Appreciate that and gravitate for that type of mess.
I like that. We're not as focused on seeing more people, but we're focused on giving better care, and I really enjoy that.
Next guest is of interest for obvious reasons. I mean, not that, you know, but when you have something like this, an animal that's already looking at you so intently, we're going to talk a little bit about canine training today. We're going to talk about a program that you're working with currently. Behesha Doan. See?
Touch.
I got it.
Touch.
It's a great name.
Behesha.
And your guest here, your friend here?
My friend is Yadier. He is a Belgian Malinois.
Yadier. Cardinals fan? Or?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Cardinals fan.
Yes.
All right. You know, from the time you walked in, you said you were going to use the touchpad
Correct.
for another reason, but you put it down. He immediately, you know, hit this stance, and you have been his focus from the beginning. Is this how he lives his life?
Yes, it is. He's very focused. He's still a silly, fun-loving dog that runs the hills and has a great time, but when it's time to work, he's extremely focused. So if I'm talking, he's going to be listening.
Yeah, when you walked in, normally when you hear canine training dog or canine unit, you might expect a German Shepherd or something to come in. Now this breed is...
This is a Belgian Malinois.
Okay, Belgian Malinois. And you chose this breed because it succeeded some of the others, or it's...
Yes, the Malinois is actually a longer-lived dog, a healthier dog.
Okay.
And they're extremely drivey, so that drive we can channel. He is a narcotics detection dog.
Okay.
He is also a patrol dog. So.
Okay.
And I use him a lot. He's a very balanced, steady dog, so we use him with dogs that have a little bit of insecurity or a little overexcitability, and he's real helpful in building balance in other dogs.
He's a leader.
He is very much a leader. We call him the Almighty.
The Almighty. How about that? Well, tell me a little bit about how this relationship forms and, the purpose of it as a whole. I know I was afraid to put a mic on you because I didn't know if he would try to protect you in some way.
He's very safe and social,
okay.
But there are criteria in which he would deploy if necessary, but
deploy, is that a nice way of saying bite my arm off or my, okay.
Yes.
Deploy, perfect, good. Yeah. Let's don't say that word. That's a word that we don't commonly use, right?
Deploy?
No, the one that would make him deploy.
Oh, well, he's trained in French, so.
Oh, trained in French.
You're good to go.
See, I always wondered about that because here's the other thing. Not that I'm guilty, but I know that there are certain people who are guilty. At the airport, they're coming back from a foreign land and maybe they brought things back that they shouldn't. This is the last thing you want to see when you get off a plane and you're guilty of that.
That's correct.
Would there be any false deployment, or have you ever had to
He is
worry about
very,
that?
very solid.
Okay.
So he's trained in narcotics, but he is also trained in apprehension, and no, he is extremely solid.
Okay.
So, mon ami, up here. Okay. See.
He just needed to move.
Yeah, I just took him off there.
Okay.
It gets a little fatiguing standing on there.
Yeah. My goodness, I'm tired just watching him. I mean, he's been so attentive. If you could get children to do this, you'd have something with you.
I had someone tell me, I'll give you $25,000 if you'll train my grandkids. And I damn near took it.
You thought about it, didn't you? You thought about it. These types of relationships are so important. It's been proven that animals have the ability to heal. Animals have the ability to help a person from depression or to stay out of depression. What are you doing for veterans now? That part of the program is very interesting.
Well, Extreme Canine not only trains, not only trains dogs for companions, people's own companion dogs, which we pride ourselves on working with the dog's behavior and helping them overcome behavioral problems. We also train for law enforcement and service work. But as far as training for veterans, Extreme Canine has a nonprofit outreach, and that is This Able Veteran.
This Able Veteran.
This Able
Veteran.
Wonderful. And This Able Veteran trains service dogs for veterans living with injuries, both physical injuries and psychological injuries.
Okay.
And so our program is multifaceted. We have a trauma resilience aspect, so it takes the dogs about a year to train. Then we bring the veterans in. The veterans are chosen from around the U.S., and they are matched with the service dogs, and they stay for 3 weeks and go through a trauma resilience program.
Wow.
And the work is amazing. The results are outstanding.
Did it even surpass your thoughts of what you thought it would be? Or?
We knew that it was, we knew we were getting excellent results, but Southern Illinois University's Department of Psychology launched a study on the program, and that study has yielded the results, and those will be published in the peer-reviewed journals in the fall.
Did you get a sneak peek?
We did, and they are off the charts as far as results, better than any program that we have seen. We have worked with the VA, we have worked with private clinicians, and we have never seen results because there are psychometrics that are used to measure depression scores, PTSD scores, quality of life scores, support. So those psychometrics are used before they come in, the day they arrive, every day that they're here, a month out and 6 months out. So we see them at a really high level of anxiety, suicidal ideations, et cetera. They come in, those scores within 3 weeks drop to greater than what is seen in traditional therapy across years of training, and all of these veterans have had years of therapy. The time in our program, by the time they leave, their scores have dropped almost to normal levels, and they sustain across time.
Good for you.
This is profound.
Good for you.
I'm also going to demonstrate how he can remain attentive even when he's highly aroused. And so that's one of the challenges with dogs, is once they become extremely excited, they stop listening. So part of our training is we want to make sure that all the dogs that we train know how to be attentive, even under high distraction. We feel that if a dog cannot remain focused and attentive even under the closest and most intense distraction, that's not really training. So we want to make sure that we have training at every level. Mon ami, touch. Good, nice. And what I want to do is make sure that he's watching me no matter where I go. I have food in my hands and he would love it, but I want him to not look at the food, I want him to look at me. So even if I have food in my hand and I wave it right in front of his face, or I move my hands all around with food, he's not looking at that. Yes. Okay? So we want that kind of focus, that kind of attention that isn't fixated on treats, right? So I'm going to actually ask him to read my lips. It was fun teaching him to do it, so his words are in French. So he was trained, assis is the French word for sit, debout is the French word for stand, and couché is the French word for down. So.
And you don't say the French word for deploy?
I will not.
Good, good, good. So the tug is something a dog really can love. Some dogs love to play tug of war. One of the problems is getting them to let it go, right? They want to keep it, they lose their marbles, they don't want to give it up. But he has a real intensity with this. He loves it so much, but the problem is when you get them to that level of arousal, it's hard to get them to settle down. So what I want to show is that you can move that arousal level up and down with good training. If you really understand dogs, and we do, we are able to take a dog into a high level of arousal and then bring them right back down again. So he knows that he cannot have this until I release him, and then you're going to hear that French word. But when he takes it, you're going to see him release with a ton of intensity, and then I'm going to ask him to let it go and go do something counterintuitive, which is to leave the very thing that he loves and walk away from it in order to get it back. Imagine a dog chasing a squirrel and then letting the squirrel go. That's counterintuitive. Walking away from it, very counterintuitive. But we can build that in a dog. So I'm going to go ahead, let him take a bite of this. He's going to bite it with a lot of intensity. I'm going to ask him to let it go and to go back to his touchpad. So go ahead. Touch. Good, touch. Nice. And we can do it fast or slow. Out. Out. Good. Nice. Assis. Assis. Good. Nice. Good. I like that. That is insane, girl. You are good.
This is Lenny, and Lenny is an 8-week-old yellow lab, and he's come into our program at This Able Veteran. This Able Veteran is the nonprofit outreach of Extreme Canine, and we are training these dogs, and it will be about a year that they'll be in training with us. We'll be training them for veterans living with injuries, both physical and psychological injuries. And once they are grown and fully trained, and it will take all of a year to get them ready, they'll be matched with their veterans, and the veterans will spend 3 weeks with us going through a trauma resilience program, and they will go on to serve their veterans for the rest of their life.
What are some of the things that you will teach them?
These dogs will learn a number of things. They will learn not only the intense focus that you were able to see earlier, to really stay dialed into their veterans, but also to perform perhaps opening and closing of doors, retrieving objects, walking by a wheelchair or pulling a wheelchair, depending on what their veteran will need. Also, they'll be trained for nightmare interruption and anxiety alerts, panic attack alerts. Wow. So these are These alerts are something that this able veteran created. These were pioneered by this able veteran. So heretofore there have been no formally trained anxiety alerts, no formally trained nightmare interruption. But depending on the nightmare signature of the veteran, the way they nightmare, the way the dog is taught to wake them is very specific to them. Some people wake up biting, some people wake up crying, some people wake up not knowing where they are. So depending on the way that they nightmare, we train the dog in a specific fashion for that individual. So each of these dogs will be custom trained for one veteran. It's the love of my life. It's work worth doing, and we feel that with our understanding of dogs and dog behavior and how to really find a path through trauma and to come walking on back home. That's what we're here to do, is to show people that there is a path through trauma and there is a way home, and there is. People who are supportive of veterans and want to see this program enhanced can go to thisableveteran.org.
Okay.
That's THISABLE veteran.org, and they can make a donation there. They can also make contact with us if they'd like to come and see the facility,
Great.
see some of the training that's going on, meet some of the veterans. We would welcome them to make an appointment with us, and we would set up a time to do that.
You're watching The Spiel.
I chose Three Rivers College to get the skills I need for success in
Early childhood education.
civil and construction, firefighting, welding,
Accounting.
paramedic,
Drafting.
environmental safety,
Nursing. Physical therapist assistant.
Medical laboratory technology.
network administration,
Forestry.
criminal justice, ag technology,
Business management.
Industrial technology.
IST legal.
Diesel mechanics.
Three Rivers College.
Success starts here.
I think we were both like-minded businesswomen. We landed an opportunity for expansion with Farmers State Bank.
So without Farmers State Bank, we wouldn't be here today on this successful endeavor.
Prepare to win, because no one serves you better.
No one.
And Farmers State Bank was willing to invest in both of us.
They're a hometown bank and they want to support hometown businesses.
Discover the links.
The lending partners are willing to go.
Our businesses have both taken off.
With Farmers State Bank, my business is soaring to new heights.
The Spiel presents You're On, 100% original new music.
My name is Ivas John. This is my good friend Gary Gordon here. We're going to play a song for you off of my last record. This one's called The Way Things Have to Be. And it's a tune that my dad helped me write, and everybody's got a story, and this is part of mine. Happiness just came along, stayed for a while, and now it's gone. I can't forget about all the funny ways. Well, things don't seem so funny now, but I'll get through it all somehow if I only think about some better days. Well, she was stepping up as I was slipping down. She was looking right at me, and I must have been looking around. She was moving on, and I tried to come along, but you just can't change the way things have to be. Well, all I do is sit and cry since the day she said goodbye. I think of all the little things she did. Don't you write, Mama, don't you call, 'cause you'll just say that you've seen it all, and tell me, baby, how we were only kids. Well, she was stepping up as I was slipping down. She was looking right at me when I must have been looking around. She was moving on, and I tried to come along, but you just can't change the way things have to be. Don't think you can just get by if you catch a sweet girl's eye. 'Cause you will hear, you know that I told you so. And put down that old drinking glass, give the boys out there a pass. You will have a long, hard road to hoe. She was stepping up as I was slipping down. She was looking right at me when I must have been looking around. She was moving on and I tried to come along, but you just can't change the way things have to be. You just can't change the way things have to be. You just can't change the way things have to be.
The Spiel, Saturdays at 11 on Fox 23.
It was closer to home than any other colleges. It was also the most affordable. I priced several of the other colleges, and there was just no way I could afford to do that for my first 2 years. The labs, the classrooms, the ITV, all the new technology they're bringing in. It's kind of fun. I'm actually majoring in mathematics. I would like to long-term teach at a university.
Three Rivers College is the smart choice.
Hello, my name is Jacob Darden, and success starts at Three Rivers College.
Find out which location is closest to you by going to trcc.edu.
Hey, guess what? Southside Lumber's been in business for 70 years now.
I know.
We got paint!
I know.
Paint! Do we have hardware?
I know.
Whoa! We got tools!
I know.
Family owned and operated for nearly 70 years, Southside Lumber is the place to go to be in the know.
Find us on social media and check us out for the next 70 years.
And we're delighted to have another talented guest in studio today. You're on, and boy, did you turn it on today. I mean, that was, you just felt that.
Thank you very much.
You really did.
Glad you
And,
enjoyed it.
and I can tell Ivas, first of all, a very unique name. The only one I've met. You're the only Ivas I know.
I'd be surprised if you had met another.
Am I the only Angie you know?
No, but you're the coolest Angie that I know.
The coolest, okay. You know a few too?
Oh, a few, yeah. I got some good friends named Angie, but they wouldn't be up to your standards, though.
Oh, that's a story for another time, I can tell, huh? Yeah, and he smiles, yes, and he smiles. You know, I loved the lines in your songs. I love the fact that you got into it and you would smile on occasion, almost as though you were reliving certain instances in life. Are you doing that through music?
Not necessarily. I think it's just the joy of the music and the joy of playing it that makes me smile.
Okay.
And really enjoy what I do. So hopefully that comes through, you know, visually when I'm playing and doing my thing.
So there's no ex sitting in the audience. You're like, I just stuck it to her, you know, she knows that.
Nothing
nothing
like
like that. Okay, all right. Your influences. Who do you aspire to, you know, be like or make proud or?
Oh, well, I think my biggest influence is my father.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of the one who I credit with getting me started in music.
Yeah.
Music was always around the house when I was growing up. It was the kind of household where there was a piano in the living room, and I'm lucky enough to have parents who are very supportive of my creative side, and so grew up playing lots of different instruments and stuff, and my dad always had his records going, and was listening to that early kind of American roots music from a young age. And then when I picked up the guitar and started playing that, it seemed like that was the best fit for me. And been going in that direction ever since.
It was the right size, huh? It just fit.
It was, yeah.
And is that the road for you? I mean, are you so committed to this and you want to see as far as you can go? What's the plan ideally?
The plan is to, yeah, keep on doing what I'm doing and stay active as a musician. And music is the centerpiece of my life, and it has been for some time. So between playing gigs and recording music, teaching music to my students, networking with other musicians, you know, that's what I do all day, every day, it seems like. And I'm really thankful and grateful that I'm able to make a living doing it, and you know, I hope that continues.
And you obviously have an ear because you selected this guy. I mean, you're sort of talented. I mean, you were pulling off some really cool stuff there.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Tell me a little bit about you and how this came to be.
Oh gosh, Ivas came to me. I'd known about Ivas, but just barely. So I was tickled when I met him. And if you get to know Ivas a little bit, you got to love him. Listen to his music and look at the man. He's a genuine man. So I love making this kind of music. Although my career stretches way back. You know, I'm a lot older than Ivas is.
No, just what, one or two years.
But no, my career stretches back. I've done blues music. As a boy, I did blues music. Nice. I've had a long career in the world of bluegrass and folk music. And I'm tickled pink. It ain't from the cold. I'm tickled pink from playing music with Ivas. I enjoy doing it.
Good. So you two are adventurous? You're excited to see where this road takes you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is an adventure, but music always is an adventure, and it's a rewarding adventure. When you look at, like, even just the studio crew smiling and grinning, makes us feel good.
Yeah, well, you know, it's amazing the power that music has, and of course we want you to do well. We wish you the very best. If a person is turned on by this music today, which I know they're going to be, how do they find you? How do they get more?
I'd encourage them to just visit my website. That would be the easiest thing to do. That's just ivasjohn.com. Okay. And there they can find my whole touring schedule and buy some of my records and look at pictures and do all that stuff, you know. Good. And I hope to have this video up there one day.
You know what? This will be the best video from the Spiel, okay?
Looking forward to it.
We'll talk about royalties as soon as they say cut. All right? And he smiles. See, I can never negotiate a deal like that on the side. I mean, I don't know what's wrong here, but is there anything else, guys, that we need to point out that maybe we haven't shared with the audience that they need to know? Either one of you.
Well, I think I'll go so far as to say I'm really thankful that there's some programs that feature live music like we're doing. Yeah. I wish there was a lot more of it. We appreciate you.
Well, we're just going to go to number one. I don't want any more, really. You know, we don't need competition or anything, so don't get any ideas.
Just want to thank you for having us, and thank all my fans for supporting me, and you know, I hope to expand my fan base even more from being on here today. So
that's what we're doing.
Thank you. That's right.
Now listen, you were saying you had a fancy phone. Do you post on Facebook? Do you tweet? Do you do all those things? You do?
Well, I don't tweet.
Okay.
I've never tweeted in my life. I don't know
Have you
how
tweeted?
It works.
I won't. No. I'll use a phone though.
Good. Okay. You know what? I think the spoken word is being lost, isn't it?
It is, yes. And being poets like Ivas and I are both poets, writers. Ivas, I feel, is a great writer. And I've written a few songs myself. You got to keep using language. You can't text a song to somebody.
LOL just will go too so far, right?
Right. You hit it.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much. I do appreciate you. And we'll be right back.
To find out more about the Spiel or even watch past episodes, visit spielon.com.
Small children don't have the ability to tell you when they have a problem. I'm Dr. David Israel. I'm one of our board-certified pediatricians. It is a far more personal experience here. Patients do get to know their providers. Their parents get to know the providers much better. Rather than jumping from doctor to doctor to doctor, they tend to follow along the same doctor, and a relationship is established with the families. It's one of my favorite things about practicing not only in a rural clinic, but practicing pediatrics.
These days, video is everywhere. TVs, computers, even your phone. With so many ways to use video to reach your potential audience, it's become an important part of doing business. If you like the commercials you've seen during the spiel, and if your business could benefit from a creative approach to telling your story, with attention-grabbing visuals and thoughtfully executed scripts, perhaps it's time you give Growing Media a call. We'd love to hear from you.
Told you, it was a good show. Not only a good show, it was a great show. That's how confident we are here at the Spiel. We cannot take credit because, again, our interns helped to book everything, and Rob Fairless is going to love the fact I'm calling him intern, but, you know, it takes a team, it takes a village, it takes an army to put on this show because we're doing good things. I mean, we really are. And listen, if you're interested in anything that you heard today, part of the success of a show is by audience participation, by you actually going to the websites, by you actually taking initiative and doing certain things. And personally, there aren't many times that an organization, institution, charity will come along that you know is so important. You need to be on the front lines of helping to get it noticed, and that's what we can do with Disabled Veteran. So we need to, what was it, Matt? Disabled Veteran? That name is so clever, isn't it? I mean, that's a really good name. And, you know, we were tossing out ideas of Wounded Warrior Project and things like that. And you wonder if those organizations could get together and perhaps make one work for the other. You think that would work?
It would seem that would be a natural progression.
Yeah.
A good step for everybody involved.
Yeah, she said that I guess they're a year old, and again, 30 cases, been able to help 30 people. We know it's very expensive to take care of even one person with traumatic brain injury or, how did you want me to say it again? We've got people on the floor now critiquing the way that I say things. A PTSD, it could be a mental traumatic brain injury, anything like that. These animals, apparently one of the only ways to get through and find that non-traumatized area in the brain of an individual and helping to essentially restore normalcy in your life. So again, this is very, very important, and if we can help at all, we want to do that. If you need more information, if you aren't quite sure and you don't necessarily want to email the ladies responsible for this effort, please email us, Angie@spielon.com, and let's see if we can make a difference for this group, because it's definitely worthwhile. Again, we've got the 6 plus, the boom box. Remember Ashley? She always finds our big word of the week. And it's going to be a little tricky this week, but I got a plan. It's how we offer you a word of the week. We encourage you to use it. It's normally a multi-syllable word. And I sometimes have a sidekick, but now that we've established Julie is not here in being, in spirit, anyway, I have an idea. If I could have the code, please. 2580. Okay, 2580. In case you ever see Ashley Schoolcraft out and about and you take her phone, then you can gain access. How about that? I'm pretty sure she'll change the password the moment this show is over, but you know, you could give it a try. So anyway, our word of the week.
Concomitant.
Concomitant. Would anybody like to guess what
concomitant
means?
Working together.
Okay, Pinkston, did you cheat?
No.
Yes. No, I did not. Concomitant means existing or occurring with something else, often in a lesser way, accompanying concurrent, to happen concurrently.
Concomitant.
That's just so much fun, isn't it? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. You ready? All right, I got the first, and then I'm going to have to turn real quick and get the second, okay? That's like, hi, I'm Angie, and I'm Angie. You know that joke when you're this one and the same? A couple people inside. Do you think I have multiple personalities, Matt? Why? Oh, you do. My mother says I do. My mother says I have multiple personalities. She would know better than you. Jason, what do you think?
I concur.
I concur. I concur. See, you're so clever, Pinkston. You are.
Concomitant.
Absolutely. Existing or occurring with something else, often in a lesser way. Okay, concomitant. So here we go. You ready? First part. Concomitant. Concomitant. You think I got it?
Yes.
Okay. And do you think you understand the word?
Concomitant.
Yes? Ashley? And what was your passcode again? One more time for the audience. 2580. Are you going to keep it the 2580? Because I'm happy to show them your screen and everything so they'll know when they see the phone, they can take it and be able to get right in. It's the 6 Plus, right? Sure. All right. Do you have any thoughts on the 6 Plus, Jason? You already have an iPad, right? You already have an iPad. Okay. Well, again, thanks so much for watching. Remember, go to our Facebook page, like us, link to us, tweet us. What else can they do? Pinterest. Who? Call. Oh no. I really don't like calls. I'll be honest. I would rather not text. Instagram. Very good. All right. What about it? See, we've got so many generations represented here today. What would you like? What else do you kids do now? Snapchat. We still do that? We Snapchat. Yeah, I don't know. They totally know. They totally know it's no good. Well, again, thanks so much for watching SpielOn.com. We want to see you back here every Saturday on Fox 11 to noon. See you next week.
It's a tune called Going Back to Arkansas. Be on my next album that I'm working on over at Inside Out Studios. It goes a little something like this. 2, 1. Made up my mind, I'm not thinking twice, and I ain't gonna listen to no one's advice. Well, you can try, baby, to trick me again. Travel that road, you're gonna find a dead end. I'm going back to Arkansas. I gave you my money, I'll let you live in my house. And you toyed with me, mama, like a cat does a mouse. Oh, yes, you did. Well, I'ma be standing with holes in my shoes. Believe me, when I leave, I won't be singing those blues. I'm going back to Arkansas. Let's get going. Don't you think, honey, that you fooled someone? I believe in this town in the morning sun. I packed my suitcase and I woke my dog, but he won't mind sleeping in a hollow log. I'm going back to Arkansas. I'm going back to Arkansas. Let's go, Gary. I'm going back to Arkansas.
The way they bank and the way our parents bank are drastically different. Mm-hmm. So mobile banking, online banking, they have to just be commonplace in our industry anymore. The ability for them to deposit money through mobile applications, the ability for them to look at loan documents remotely. Mm-hmm. I mean, those kind of things are drastically different. The opening of accounts, the application processes, it's strangely we keep them out of our bank anymore. So therefore we have to be on top of the new technologies and ways to stay ahead of that.
We pride ourselves on taking care of our customers. We'll put every effort into satisfying a customer.
Our crew here takes wonderful care of the people.
You can still operate here on a handshake.
We have 8 out of the 10 #1 sellers on this lot.
24/7 tech service.
We have very competitive financing.
We have one of the largest body shops in the Midwest.
We take care of all of it right here at Larry's.
All in an effort to try to keep our customers happy. We're on 148, just north of Ziegler, Illinois. We'll go further than that extra mile.
The Spiel, Saturdays at 11 on Fox 23.